What's up, Trap? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review of Basketball Wives Season 8, Episode 4, Episode 3. Hold on, let me make sure I got it right. Episode 4. Okay. So we pick up where we left off with the whole situation. Pat, that one's for you. We left off with the whole fight with OG and Kristen and Cece. And now Cece want to act like she got an issue with how Kristen did it. I mean, with how OG did it. Well, she just used it as a weapon. I mean, it's not a big secret. It's not a big deal, but the way she used it, she's using it as a weapon. And I'm sitting here like, really, Cece? Really? You created the weapon. Um, and everybody's upset with OG and really Cece too, but mainly they're kind of throwing it at OG right now. Um, Jackie is trying to talk to them and just trying to get OG to understand what the issue is, and OG is just like, well, everybody just need to own their own shit, and everybody act like they don't hear what she says to me. But my thing is this, and I went back and looked at it again. You started with Kristen. Kristen wasn't bothering you. You started that argument with Kristen because you were chomping at the bit to say what you wanted to say. You've been hinting around at it all last episode. You've been hinting around at it, and you've been chomping at the bit to say it. And now it's coming out, and that's what you wanted to happen. And the reason why I'm saying all that is because it's gonna come back later on with the rest of this. Shawnee has to move because people have been breaking in her neighborhood. Her neighborhood has been had a lot of break-ins. She said somebody tried to break in her house, and golly. So she ended up moving. Y'all know why I'm yawning. I ain't did nothing today. Absolutely nothing. But wash clothes. I ain't did nothing today. And I slept until 11. So I don't know why I'm yawning. So that's all that's going on with that. We see that she ends up finding something at the end of the episode. She said Shaq ended up helping her find a new house or whatever. Um, and she just talked about it. They're really getting along. Okay, cool. Boom. That's the end of that. We see Cece talking to Byron. And Cece is telling Byron what happened, but she's not taking any responsibility for her part in it. She's just making it seem like OG just threw it out there. And, I mean, it's not that it's a big deal because people do know, but, just the way Cece did it, I mean, OG did it. She just weaponized it. She just made it like it was a weapon. And so, Kristen was really upset and she was crying and everything, but that's because she turned it into a weapon. She just weaponized the whole thing. She weaponized it because you gave her the goddamn gun. Like, it wouldn't have been weaponized if you didn't give her the gun to weaponize it. And then we see Kristen telling Thomas about it. And of course, Thomas pissed off. Thomas is hurt. Like, why are y'all telling my business? You know what I mean? Like, why are y'all telling? Because at the end of the day, everybody agrees that it's not a secret. Like, the people who need, it's one of those things where if you need to know, you know. But it's not something that they were blasting out to the world, which is what ended up happening by OG putting it out there. Now everybody knows, whereas before it really wasn't something that was out there for the world to know. And again, of course, the way it was done, you're in the middle of an argument, and so you threw it at her because that's what you were doing. You would turn it into a weapon. So OG, Jackie, and Tammy go to dinner. They tell Tammy what happened, but Tammy immediately jumps to the defense of OG and feels like, oh, everybody's been coming at OG and the girls have been coming at OG. Here's what's going on with Tammy. Tammy is internalizing this situation to the way she was treated when she came into the group and the way they kind of did her and talked about her and stuff. And because she was rough around the edges and all of that. That's what's going on. And so she's internalizing that with OG because at the end of the day, she really didn't give Jackie a chance. Well, Jackie didn't do a good job of trying to explain it either. And the way OG painted it was she was just sitting there minding her business. Kristen attacked her. She defended herself and everybody jumped on her. And she don't understand why everybody jumped on her. And that's not how the whole thing went down. Like I said, I looked at it again. She started that shit with Kristen. And so now Tammy is like, oh, so Jackie, you didn't have her back. You didn't defend her. And she going to ask OG, do you wish Jackie had done more? OG talking about something. Yeah, I feel like you could have done more. So now Tammy going to call Jackie fake. Tammy called Jackie fake and gonna tell Jackie you should have done more to defend OG, and you so busy trying to be in with the girls now, be with the in crowd, that you not, you not standing by OG like you should have. And Jackie was like, what? Like that's not even how the whole thing went down. And but again, Jackie didn't really do a good job of explaining it. So Tammy's gonna say, yeah, I feel like we need to have this conversation, with a bigger crowd. And once again, OG looked a hot damn mess. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. She just be looking a hot damn mess. Anyway, so once again, she looked a hot damn mess. Um, so we see Kristen, Malaysia, and London. That's Thomas's sister. They are out shopping, doing a little retail therapy, and they end up having a conversation. And as they're sort of talking to each other and kind of telling London what happened, London gets really upset. London was like, "How come every time y'all get into an argument, my family is collateral damage? Like, why y'all telling Thomas's business? This has nothing to do with Thomas. That's an argument between y'all, and it like why y'all throwing jabs? Why is it coming out?" And of course, Kristen was like, "I wish it wasn't hitting Thomas. That's my husband. I don't want him hurt. But if it weren't for Cece, OG wouldn't have the ammunition to throw." And so they get to talking, and now everybody mad at Cece. They realize that OG was a little out of pocket, but Malaysia is really the one. I mean, shit, I don't say Malaysia. Cece is really the one that sort of gave OG a loaded pistol. And now everybody's sort of starting to turn their attention towards Cece and realizing that Cece was the whole puppet master behind it. Like, yeah, OG, you were wrong, but you would have never had none of that information to throw if it hadn't been for Cece. And they're shopping because we already know that Kristen's mom is a breast cancer survivor, so they're getting ready for the walk. They're trying to find some pink sneakers for her and everything. That's what they're doing when they're having this conversation. So then we see Shawnee, OG, Jackie, and Tammy meet up because Tammy wants to have the conversation about what happened at the dinner and sort of get a little bit more insight into it. And so Shawnee does a better job of explaining how everything went down and what happened. And Tammy gets a different point of view. And she ends up apologizing to Jackie. OG still trying to play victim like she didn't do nothing wrong and everybody ganged up on her and everybody came for her. And of course, OG tried to say that Shawnee was talking about her, kind of call her the scum of the earth and stuff. And Shawnee was like, I didn't say that. She was like, I don't even use that kind of language. I would never say that. Now, Shawnee did come at OG, but I don't remember her calling her no scum of the earth type stuff. So, of course, OG sitting on the sideline looking crazy. Tammy defended her. And now you got Tammy looking crazy. But see, Tammy, that's what you get because you weren't there. And you're internalizing how you were treated and what happened to you. And you making it seem like everybody's coming for OG and they doing OG so wrong. And OG was like, well, I just feel like people don't ever remember what's said to me. They only remember what, Kristen said, what I said to Kristen. And, Shawnee was like, all I'm saying is at the end of the day, the stuff that y'all was saying back and forth at each other is argument stuff. That's the stuff that women do when they argue with each other. But for you to throw a family, not so much it has to be a top secret, but something that is internal to the family and throw it out there for everybody and then use it as a weapon was wrong. And I felt like it was wrong. And so Tammy was like, okay, I'm starting to get a little bit more insight into what happened, and I did call you fake, Jackie, and for that, because then because Shawnee also disputed the fact that everybody was jumping on OG at one time. She was like, that's not how that went down either. Like people did say something to her, but it wasn't like we all ganged up on her. So of course now, like I said, Tammy looking stupid because she defended OG, and she looking stupid. And she ended up having to apologize to Jackie, for calling her fake and stuff. Like, well, I kind of understand. I see it a little bit differently now. And OG even had to, OG even had to say, well, I know I have a temper and I know that I can, kind of go off and I'm working on that. I'm gonna work on me, and, they were like, you, for whatever reason, got an issue with Kristen. I don't know what the issue is. So Tammy was like, well, look, I'm having a brunch and I'm gonna invite all the girls. Here goes Shawnee. All the girls. Tammy was like, you know who that means. Basically, everybody except for Evelyn. um, And maybe we can talk this whole thing out. Maybe we can come to some sort of understanding and talk this whole thing out. So, excuse me, sorry for something. So, they're gonna have a brunch, and everybody's coming to the brunch, honey. We're gonna see how that works out. So Evelyn and Shawnee end up going to the studio to see Phoebe. Phoebe's a rapper. She said she moved to LA to chase her dreams. And they get to talking to her. You know, she said, look, I like being around boss bitches. Like Evelyn and Shawnee, y'all are some boss bitches. I want to be like y'all when I grow up. Y'all made y'all own way. Y'all took lemons and made lemonade. And Shawnee was like, well, it really wasn't until my divorce. When I was married, I was content to be a basketball wife. It wasn't until I got divorced and sort of had to gain my independence and figure out my independence for myself. And Shawnee had a cute little tracksuit on in this scene. They also asked Phoebe how she felt about the girls, and Phoebe was like, "Look, I don't know how I feel about these girls because they on some other bullshit." And then she was talking about OG. She said OG asked her if she had a gag order. And she was like, "No, I'm not no side chick. Like, I'm not. My children are no secret. Like, me and him were together. His kids are his kids. He claims them. Everybody know. Like, I don't have no gag order. Like, I'm not no. Like, no. You know what I mean?" She said, "Why would you even ask me something like that?" So she kind of is feeling some kind of way about Miss OG, and I think the two of them are gonna have a little showdown at a certain point. But we're gonna get there. Um. Then we get to the brunch. Everybody's at the brunch. Um, we get to the brunch, and they get to talking about what happened at the argument again because Tammy wants to clear the air. And once again, everybody's got their own revisionist history about what happened and how it happened and what happened, what went down, and how it went down. And Kristen Kristen actually apologized to OG. She said, I kind of said some stuff that hit below the belt, and I will apologize. She said, but for whatever reason, you got a problem with me. Now, OG talking about something, I don't have a problem with you. So Tammy kind of giving her the side eye, like, well, wait a minute. The other day you had a whole lot to say. Now you kind of giving me something a little bit different. And I'm like, see, that's what you get for going out on a limb for OG. But of course, Tammy is like, I'm not gonna let these girls treat her any old kind of way, and I'm gonna have her back at all costs. See, that's going to be your problem because you're going to have her back at all costs because maybe you shouldn't have her back at all costs. But eventually, OG does end up apologizing to Kristen. And that's when the attention turned on Cece. Because Malaysia was like, now my issue is with Cece. And she was like, for OG to even throw that grenade, she had to get the information from somewhere. And the fact that she got it from you. Well, Cece was like, well, that's just not how it went down. Byron was there and he heard what was, like it wasn't a big deal for him. Byron was there. He knew what was being said. He knew that Kristen knew, that OG knew. And it's just not a big deal. It's just not a big deal. And so Malaysia was like, Kristen was like, well, look, I mean, damn it, I'm getting everybody's names mixed up. Cece was like, look, I'm tired of this. And this is basically the last time you're going to see me. And here go Jackie. Like, whatever. And Kristen was like, what you mean it's the last time we're going to see you? She was like, look, this is it. I don't care anymore. I'm tired of this. And so Kristen was like, so you don't care if his kids, like, if his kids don't have a relationship with him? She was like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So Malaysia was like, okay, so wedding day rolls around and none of his kids are there. How do you feel about that? She was like, I don't care. It's not my problem. That's all I care about is Byron. All I care about is Byron. So Malaysia is like, you know what? This shit is worse than I thought it was. I need to just talk to Byron myself because this is not okay. And for you to be at a point where you're like, I don't care whether he has a relationship with his kids or not, that's just not cool. That's not okay. Now, all of them are trying to get Cece to understand why giving OG this information was a problem and how OG used it was a problem. And Cece is steadily acting like she don't understand the problem and she don't understand what the big deal is. And it just, like I said, at the end of the day, Cece was like, you know what, forget it. I just won't be here no more. I won't be around y'all anymore. And I don't really give a damn whether Byron got a relationship with his kids or not. Boom. There it is. Whoop. There it is. So Malaysia was like, well, look, I'm just going to end up having a conversation with Byron. So she ends up going to talk to Byron. And she lets Byron know how everything went down. And she was like, so do you think that Cece is and Byron admitted that he was like, yeah, we were at dinner together and it came up and I didn't see what the big deal was. She was like, so you're okay with like you feel like Cece is innocent in all this? He was like, oh no, no. She's not innocent in all this. I know she's not innocent in all this. And she was like, well, do you feel like it being used as a weapon against Kristen, you feel like that was cool? Like, were you okay with that? And he was like, nah, like, no, that's my son. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that is my son. He was like, the family knows, but nah, but it's not a big secret, but it's not a well-known thing. And Malaysia was like, well, that's exactly what happened. And Cece made it seem like you were cool with it. I mean, Cece made it seem like you were all right with it. And he was like, no, that's not cool. And so Malaysia was like, well, that makes me feel a little bit better. But now I'm kind of still pissed off because now I feel like Cece's lying or misinterpreting the facts to justify her actions. Baby. Then we had another scene where the ladies went out for wine tasting. It was OG, Evelyn. I'm sorry, it was not OG. It was Evelyn, Phoebe, Kristen, and her friend Vanessa. That Vanessa was all through this episode, but nobody's really talking to her. But she was in a bunch of the scenes, so I guess they're trying to bring her on the show too. I don't know. And that's what Phoebe sort of reiterated again about OG kind of coming for her, and she was like, she don't really want this smoke. Like she might want to leave me alone because I don't really appreciate how she kind of came at me. Phoebe was just kind of like, yeah, she might not want to poke this bear. I don't play like that. I was like, and like I told y'all last week, I think Phoebe might, it's gonna be a problem, I think. But that's pretty much what went down. Like again, I was a little bit worried about this whole thing with Tammy because I was like, Tammy, don't let you internalizing how you were treated put you on the wrong side of this because OG started that shit. Now, I ain't saying Kristen didn't throw it back, and I ain't even no Kristen fan. Okay, let's be clear. But OG, you started that. You started that. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments, please.